Hey, this is a video. It's going to explain a little bit about using pgAdmin and creating what are called scripts, which I guess you can use for a few different reasons when you're programming. But for my purposes, we are working on this API, and here I am in the server, and we need what are called scripts because let's go here. In my account controller, we're trying to do this get method, and in order to do that, we need to know what it needs to look like over here in pgAdmin in order to go over here to our JDBC DAO, DAO, and we got to create a SQL script. Okay, so we're creating the SQL, and we need to know what goes in here. And if you don't do it too often, this can be it can be difficult to recall exactly how that has to look. These names have to be right, the format has to be right, and so this won't necessarily give you the precise terms that you need, but it ought to get you pretty close. So let's take a look at it. Here we have pgAdmin, and you can even see there's an example here. But here's all our databases over here. And if we click on databases and find the one we want, and I'm going to use Tenmo here. Okay, so drop that down, and then schemas, and finally tables. Okay, which is already open, but I'll open it. We get a table, and I'm going to right click on there, go up to scripts, and there are three that we use most often. Insert, which is going to correspond to our gets. Select is going to correspond to our gets. Insert is going to correspond to our posts, and update is going to correspond to puts. So let's that's what we're looking for here. Insert, select, update. Let's go back. Notice the method name is going to probably tell you what kind of what you're trying to achieve here. Get account by user ID is probably going to get something, but we can make sure by going back to the controller and seeing what it was asking for. And sure enough, request method dot get. So fine. What do we want if we're doing a get? If we are doing a get here, what do we want over in our JDBC? What do we want those lines to look like? All right, so we're going to bring over pgAdmin, and again, we want to be in our database, schemas, tables. Go to the table that we're trying to get from. So what that was, account, get account by user ID. So we're going to do account. Right click on account, go to scripts, and say select script. And then there it is. So this might not give you exactly what you want, but these names, account ID, user ID, balance, these are going to be exactly the way you want it to show up in your, when you're posting it or typing it into your program. Let's go ahead and I'm going to copy this and paste it in here. You can see the format that it needed to be down here with a semicolon, quote, another semicolon. So go ahead and Control V, select. That's going to have to be in quotes. At the end of the statement, I'm going to put this on the same line. I'll save this for another day. So at the end, we wanted a semicolon, quote, semicolon, semicolon, quote, semicolon. Again, you're going to have to adjust what you actually look for based on what you're trying to get. In the case of the program that we're really using, we're looking for the account ID, user ID, balance, out of the account, and then we're searching by a particular user ID. Let's say 1001, 1002. We're going to get those particular account IDs and user IDs for that user ID. And this is the query tool, the question mark. That's how that would look. So, okay, let's quickly go through the others. I'm going to Control Z that. Okay. Let's say that we were, instead of getting something, there's another get. Let's say we're updating something. That over here in our update is going to be a put. So what does that look like? So let's say we're getting it from account again. Right click, scripts. That's going to be an update. And if I click on this, this will give you a baseline to start from if you're doing, if you're trying to do a put in your on your API. And finally, let's let's try a different table. Tenmo user, and go to scripts, and you're trying to do a post. That is going to be insert. Let's check that out. And once again, you can see here, it's giving you an idea of how those question marks need to look. That's for a whole different video, how the question marks are going to correspond to what you're actually looking for and how you're wanting the API to search, or what kind of searches a client might do. So, okay, thanks for watching. I hope this helps.